Southeast Texas Weekly, brought to you by the Modern Vein Surgery Institute at Privity Clinic for Surgical Care.
Hello again and welcome back to Southeast Texas Weekly. I'm Kevin Steele. Great to have you with us to talk politics once again. If you love politics and you care about your country, then you're probably at home right now weighing in on some of these issues, and you can do it right alongside these gentlemen with their incredible persuasive powers that we've come to know over time. Kent Bettman, the Hardin County GOP chairman. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here, Kevin. Thank you.
James Shannon with the Beaumont Examiner.
How are you?
Back once again. And Nathan Buddy Reynolds with the Reynolds Law Firm.
Hi, Kevin. How you doing?
Joining us for yet another incredible program. I'm going to say incredible because Hillary Clinton and the Donald continue to make politics an interesting thing, an incredible thing. Am I wrong? Donald Trump are you surprised in any way that Donald Trump remains at the top of the polling on the Republican side? You're surprised.
I am, but here's the thing to remember. The convention is a year away, and what's going to happen over the next year, the idea that Trump is not going to shoot himself repeatedly in the foot, it's possible, but I'm not sure. You know, these candidates are...
It would take an enormous amount of... what's the word? Discretion on his part for him not to step into yet another pile of the proverbial
The funny
stuff,
thing is
it?
the way Trump's ascendancy has forced the other Republican candidates to do insane things. Ben Carson yesterday talked about putting armed Predator drones on the border to fire missiles at the immigrants.
They're all lining up behind Trump. They're adopting his philosophies. Because it's working for him.
Senator Ted Cruz has said that he was in favor of, I don't want to misquote him here, he has stepped in to some degree with an agreement on the birthright citizenship issue, which essentially has not been tested, but has been tested from a legal point a long time ago and would require a constitutional amendment in our system. But a lot of Americans, when you poll them, they agree with this matter of if someone comes to the United States for 15 minutes and they're born in a U.S. hospital, they should not be a U.S. citizen. Donald Trump says this. The national media says this is preposterous. Look what's going on.
He's got a pretty good argument. The 14th Amendment says that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and under the jurisdiction of the United States shall be United States citizens. They have to be under the jurisdiction. Mr. Trump's argument is that somebody that's in here illegally is not under the jurisdiction of the United States, therefore should not be granted automatic citizenship. It's never been tested, but that's where he's going.
That's the thing, is the Supreme Court has not had a case, to my knowledge, where it has said that the 14th Amendment doesn't would preclude such a thing. That this matter of whether you're a natural born citizen by being in the country
children
for
that are born
15 minutes.
to ambassadors and other foreign people in the country legally traveling on their visas, and there has been a Supreme Court case on that. A person that was
John McCain was born in the Canal Zone. Ted Cruz was born in Canada. I mean, there's enough flexibility, but basically, by design, it is not
You're saying
easy.
there's enough flexibility to try it again? Could it be litigated?
I'm saying that, for example, if those men are American citizens, and I don't argue
well, they were
that
born
they
to
are,
American citizens
but
abroad.
in foreign countries, yeah. So,
but we're talking about
The point is, we're talking about this. We're talking about this because one individual decides to make it a candidate, a presidential issue. And going to the debate, he increases his numbers. The people that were on his side increase their numbers. And during the time since the last debate, several Republican candidates now beat Hillary Clinton head to head. That's only come about because everybody's talking about their side of the issue instead of the Hillary side.
Talking about in the polling.
In the polling.
And the polling has been extraordinary. Let's just say that. There was a 15-year-old high school sophomore who has polled substantially well in the state of North Carolina, and it has sort of shocked some folks. I mean, this is an extraordinary case. And does it just speak to the man's name, the boy's name is D's Nuts, and this case is extraordinary in that it seems to point out a remarkable degree of American disinterest in the regular establishment candidates, and pretty much anybody that will step forward and be different. Am I wrong?
Let me warn people, don't put too much stock in these polls. They are wildly spread across the board, and they don't really have the sort of definitive meaning. Just ask President Romney, who was leading all the polls on the election day in 2012, and lo and behold, you know, he was millions and millions of votes short, but he didn't have a concession speech prepared because
I remember that
the
being
pollsters
margin of
told
error,
him
as
he
I
was going to
recall,
win.
but
It was close. I remember Al Gore was supposedly up by 12 points when he lost. I mean, polls can
What
be
a
wrong,
large
there's no
You can
cable-
question.
argue that
12.
When a
actually
large
Gore-
cable news provider does a poll of its viewers, how do you think those polls are going to come out? They're going to be skewed
you think it's
towards.
skewed to that angle.
There's no doubt all those things are true. The point is there weren't polls that were showing any Republican was beating Hillary head to head because she had all of her problems and the Republicans had their debate, which was the second largest cable event ever. So I mean, there's something going on.
And Trump's going out saying she's not going to be a nominee, she's going to be a convict. You know, they've been trying to put the Clintons behind bars ever since Whitewater. and the
I
Rose Law
hope she's
Firm.
not a convict, but I'm thinking more and more she won't be the nominee.
In this country, we don't put political opponents in jail, much as some of you guys in your party would like to. That's not where it's at.
Really, us? I thought they were trying to put Nixon in jail. Wait a minute, there's a whole bunch
Nixon.
of Republicans, I think, that were.
Not
Nixon,
until after the
Clinton.
election do they put the other party in jail.
When we start talking about Nixon and Clinton in the same
I know there were
sentence,
several
you-
Watergate folks that did go to prison.
well, you know, we
It's a
can't
good
be
thing
wrong if we're
WL's not
talking
here. We
about
could
that.
recall Woodrow Wilson.
WL's coming in just a moment. We'll have him weigh in, and we'll be back in just a moment.